Hello, I'm Mark Tucker,
Hi everyone, I am Eliza. Welcome to the Two Voice Devs.
Two Voice Devs. Hey, welcome on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
Ellen is taking a break off of this one because we wanted to have a very special guest on. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn the time over to Eliza to tell a little bit about who she is and how she got started in voice.
So my name is Eliza Camber. I am an Android developer mostly. And I started with voice because I felt that voice is very different from a coder. So the perception when you start working on the code is just basically with if and else. But when you start talking, things don't work like this. You have a million different ways of saying the same thing. And this is everything that you need to take under consideration when you start working on something so different. So for me, that was a challenge, and I started liking it very much because I had to basically rewire my brain on how I think. And this also, like the variety that the language is giving us, I think that it also made me better at my work because I started thinking of a few scenarios that normally I don't think that I would think of. And then because I also started with voice and I have this in my mind, then I'm like, oh, okay, so there is another way for the user to do that. I should take care of that as well.
I totally agree. I'm just thinking that coming from years of experience myself programming, then when I came to voice, it was just like, well, this idea of it being interactive and more personal really appealed to me. So what's your relationship with Alan? How do you know him?
So we met at a community event. I don't remember exactly which one was it. I think that it was the GDE summit when I first saw him. And I mean, it started as a really small community, especially for the Google Assistant. So everyone kind of knew everyone. The community has started to grow, but the friendships just stand with you.
Yeah, exactly. So you're a Google developer expert. Can you talk about like what areas of expertise?
I am for the Google Assistant, but also for conversational AI in general. So Google also has a tool that is called Dialogflow. That used to be the only way that you could actually do something in voice, but then they kicked off the Actions on Google platform. And on the Actions on Google, you can only build voice applications for the Google Assistant. But then you also have the Dialogflow, and this is now partly part of the Google Cloud. And then you can still make voice applications that don't have anything to do with the Google Assistant. You can use it anywhere as a chatbot, for instance, or through a telephone line, just connected through.
Yeah,
so those are my two expertise.
Excellent. Yeah, no, I'm mostly coming from the Alexa side of things, but I have created some Google Actions and started with Dialogflow. As well, and have most recently moved over to Actions. What's your experience with Actions for mobile apps? I think they call them Google App Actions.
It's App Actions. Yeah. So I think that I was one of the very first people that I started like getting my hands on it, because for me it's just marries my two passions, the first one being the voice and the other one being the Android. So I started on that very recently, like not very recently, but when it started, like from the very first people. And I really like where it's heading because Android is just everywhere. And it's in your pocket. So whenever you can just make someone's life easier, then I think that you should, right?
Yeah. So for those listeners who don't know much about App Actions, can you kind of give an overview and then maybe some specifics on how you might use it?
Yeah, so the App Actions is a way that you can basically connect the assistant with your Android application. So let's say, for instance, that you have a tax application then whenever the user says that, hey, get me a taxi from my taxi app, then you can already trigger your application. It will open up to the correct screen. And if the user provides some data as well, for instance, I want the taxi to get me there, then you can pre-fill those when you open up the application. And you can even have like shortcuts that won't even trigger the application. Like you will just say like, okay, so the taxi is coming in 5 minutes, for instance.
Okay. So let's talk about that a little bit more, where our audience are developers a lot of the time. So let's talk a little bit. We won't have to get into like deep details, but kind of how would you program that? Is that something that you program on the action side of things? Do you have to make changes to your mobile app to have this work? Kind of just talk about how that works.
Well, the actions that you have on the Actions on Google platform is something completely separate from the rest. You can still have the same backend, for instance, but the actions on Google is very different from the app actions that you have on your phone. So you're going to have the one without the other one. Okay. On the Android side, you can make use of the new framework that they have. Well, they have two frameworks. One is called Actions. So you just add an actions.xml over there. And with a very few changes on the rest of the application, then you can just make it trigger. Or you can go with a newer way, it's still on beta, it's called shortcuts. So you can create shortcuts and then it's basically the same thing. It's also very easy to migrate. So if someone was on the actions.xml, if they were using this one, it's very easy for them to switch to the shortcuts.xml.
Okay, so I just attended recently a session on Alexa for apps, and the idea behind that is, I think very similar to app actions, and the fact that you want to do some voice control of an existing mobile application that you might have as as a company or a brand. And I guess there's two pieces. There's the shortcut side of things, and then there's the send to phone side of things. So send to phone is basically you could be inside of a skill and just say send to phone, and what it would do is that it would go ahead and you can open a link on your phone, like a website or an app, or on the shortcut side of things, you can use like universal links or other things that already exist on the mobile app side of things to go ahead and start up that taxi app, or to trigger the event that's going to tell you like, oh, your taxi will be here in 5 minutes. But it's all based on technology that's already existing on the mobile side of things, and just using universal links. And it could be an Android app, or it could be an iOS app. And my understanding, at least from attending this session, because I haven't done this yet, is that there's no changes that really have to happen on the mobile app side of things at all. It could be an existing published mobile app out there. And as long as you already have those links or deep links or whatever into the different parts of your mobile app, all the work to add voice to that on the Alexa side is done through adding information to your skill. Is that similar to how things work on the app action side of things?
Yeah, it's very similar. The differences over there is that you can also make your content searchable for the Google Assistant when it comes to the shortcuts, for instance. So if you already have the screen open and the Google Assistant tries to trigger it out as well, then you can manipulate the content that you saw over to there with what the Google Assistant has as a new information. This is very helpful when you already have the application open, but you don't have any free hands. Or if you can't get to your device easily, for instance, this is really helpful over there. So it still works with deep links for just opening up the application. But there are also like content that you can show without even opening the application before that.
Well, that's interesting. So I guess how are you seeing as far as companies using app actions. Is there a lot of interest in that right now? Or is more interest coming? I guess, where do you see that coming here in the next year or two?
People don't really know a lot about it yet. And a lot of companies don't even know that this is possible. They think that deep links still just work for like sign in with emails, for instance, and stuff like this. So they're not even aware that you can connect this to smarter devices and then make something really cool with your application and get your content to more users. So I think that there is a communication fail from the company side and for the users or the companies that are trying to get to their app users. But when people start to know more about this and see that it's actually not a lot of work and it doesn't have to do anything with the backbone of the application. So no matter how old or new the backbone of the application is, that doesn't really make any difference. There is really no real risk for you just blowing up the entire application, for instance, because they're really afraid of just touching a few pieces of code. Like if it's security, for instance, they were like, no, we don't want to touch it. And I'm like, you don't have to touch it. That's fine. It doesn't work like this. So I think that it's just a communication fail between like Alexa and Google with the rest of the companies. Because they don't know about this, but they're really enthusiastic when they finally figure this out.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, and it's fairly new. You know, we're just learning about it. I haven't had a project yet where that's been something that we've I guess talked to our clients about, but it is something that we need to be aware of as developers, and for the audience, anybody that's out there, to understand what the technical capabilities are. And understand that really it is a small lift. It's not going to impact the application, the mobile application development team. It's something that a voice team can come in, or an agency can come in and help you do on your application to get things, add voice to your existing mobile applications. That it's something that's possible to do. And then also that technically it's not maybe as big of a lift as people think it might be. Exactly.
It's just making it visible to the Google Assistant, for instance. It's nothing more. That's it.
I know, it seems so simple. It's like, hey, I don't even
nothing
have to.
More. You just you already have the content there. You're just making it visible to the Google Assistant. That's all.
That's all you're doing. Yeah. So it's not like I don't even have to start up my code editor to get going on that stuff. So yeah, but I think that's important, and I think as people see more and more, of some of their favorite mobile apps, like, hey, I can do stuff with voice on this now. I can on my exercise application or on other things. I don't have to be right there holding the phone, and I can do some additional things just with my voice. I think the more we see maybe some of the flagship often used applications having that, then more and more companies will like, hey, I want to do what they're doing. And
well, the same happened with devices as well, right? At the beginning, no one knew about Alexa or the Google Assistant, and then suddenly it just boom, it exploded, and suddenly it's in every house.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And in my house, some cases I've got multiple devices, and I got some of each.
That's the subject.
So that's fun. So about what year did you start doing voice stuff on Google? Do you remember, I guess, how you got started?
When it was?
Yeah, when it was.
Oh, I started with voice stuff before Google actually buys Dialogflow, which was then an AI.ai.
Okay.
How it was called. Yeah, exactly.
That's right.
That's how I started. So I started with that, then Google bought it. And funny story is that I actually was giving a talk about this, and then Google bought it. And the day before of my talk, they decided to change the name.
Oh.
So I was at the hotel room at like 4 o'clock in the morning trying to figure out how to change everything.
Everything. Oh, you're like, thanks,
Well,
Google. I appreciate that.
No heads up whatsoever.
So is that's what, probably 2018, maybe?
Or late 17,
Late
somewhere
17?
somewhere around there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, I talk about dialogue flow so much, I forget, and that it was originally AI.ai, and it's been a while.
Well, visually, it was very similar. Like,
yeah,
even the color is the same, right?
that's true. And you used to be able to do all kinds of things. You could create Alexa skills with it too.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's exciting. So I don't know what else is interesting to you in voice. I guess what things are you excited about, want to study next?
I'm really excited at how everything is just getting combined together. So for me, seeing that Google is working on the app actions, for instance, and they're trying to make the Google Assistant available to devices that you already have, and you have always on you.
Yep.
That was really nice for me, especially because I really love Android. So seeing that now Android developers don't really have to choose which side to go. Well, not Android developers, but like managers mostly. They were like, oh, should we go voice? Should we go with this? Should we go with that? Now you can just start with just having the Android application hooked up to the Google Assistant. And you can see, like, if that gets a lot of attention from your users, that does probably mean that you need an actions on Google as well. So then you can just start building something that is completely for the Google Assistant to have like a more, let's say, enjoyable experience for the users. So I'm really excited to see how everything is just going to get connected, because I think that at the end, everything is going to get connected.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's going to be a lot of connectivity and opportunities to voice, and I can see, being able to talk to your device in the morning, maybe get daily updates, news or whatever as you head out the door. You carry on the conversation on your phone. You get in your car. It's things get transferred over. I don't know, maybe it's a longer story, and you might even be able to just keep listening as you're changing devices and changing networks, and you're off in your car, maybe driving to work and other things. I just having voice everywhere, I think is going to be something that we see more and more, just easier to it's just there, and it's easy to use, and you don't really have to think about it.
Yeah. And I think that the most exciting part will be when the context will be kept throughout all of the devices.
Yes.
So if I can just talk to my Google Assistant that, hey, I'm leaving, and then it just automatically sends like my navigation, for instance, to my car, or even to my phone if I'm using my phone only. This is going to be fantastic. Like, I don't have to do anything more. And then if I just say, because a lot of times you're just going to talk to the Google Assistant, like trying to do a few stuff like multitasking when you're in the car, especially, and you're like, reply to that person, and like it doesn't have a context, so they don't really know what to do. So the more that people start to use it, the better it will get, of course. And I think that it will start getting context, like keeping that context of the conversation throughout the entire environment of devices that you have. And this is going to be like fantastic.
Yeah, I think, well, it's interesting because I think I often try to think, I guess, how this would happen. And I'm wondering if, like, your phone itself would be the context, and maybe there's different layers. Maybe there's a public context and a private context. But like if I've got that group of data with me on my phone, and there's a, obviously security and all that stuff, those problems have been solved, but it knows who I am. It knows, like let's say that I'm on my way to the store, and this context about things that I've ordered and conversations that I've been having is with me on that phone. And let's say some future date, I go into the supermarket, and now my shopping cart has a screen that automatically shows my shopping list, just because it
happen at some point.
Yeah, but the thing is that it can be done in such a way that the context isn't like out there in the cloud. It's with you personally, and
Definitely.
something that people have with them almost everywhere is a phone. So I'm
exactly.
wondering if that context carryover is somehow tied to your phone.
Yeah, but I think that like we can start smaller. For instance, if I was searching something with the Google Assistant on my phone, and then I just asked something like, let's say that the store was called the Happy Store. And if I then ask after, like, I don't know, a few minutes, so what are the opening hours for the Happy Store? I don't want to hear about a Happy Store that may be in California. I mean, I'm in Europe. I don't care about that. So, so even that, like just keeping a reference of the latest conversations that you have, without having anything like real information about you. Like this is something that you already did through the Google Assistant. So and it does keep the history of that because it needs to get trained somehow. So
yeah. And you want it to be better at understanding you, right? More personal, maybe the way that you talk about things or what you call things. Then I can see that that if there's a way to securely make these experiences more and more personalized for you, then it just feels more natural, and you don't have to, the promise of voice is to be able to just say it, and you don't have to, tap and all this other stuff. But even saying it, there is still some variations in how one person would call it, more than just different utterances. It's just different ways to think about things, or, something that's more important, or, like if you were to say, hey, what's better, this or this? Better is better cost, is better the way it looks, is it quality, is it what's better? And so, but just when I'm saying why is something, which one is better, then I might have a different meaning than what somebody else might have, right?
Definitely, yeah.
So
definitely.
Well, very cool. Is there anything else you want to share about app actions with our listeners, so that they can either get started or better understand what to do with this going forward?
Was that, you don't really have, like, you don't know a lot about the app actions as well. So do you have any questions maybe? Like, did you understand how it works, and like how the companies can develop it and the developers?
Yeah, I think I have a pretty good understanding. It seems like it's at least similar, it would be similar in concept. I guess the difference with what I was talking about is, as far as app actions, that's only on Android, correct? That's not going to be available for iOS.
At least for now, this is only for the Android devices. Okay.
Is there a cost for developing or getting going forward with that?
Great. There is great documentation and a lot of resources that people can refer to, either on how to get started or on how to do specific things. On the app actions, we have something that we call intents. It's basically the deep links as well. But those intents, like there are already some pre-filled intents, some more clever, let's say, intents.
Uh-huh.
For instance, for ordering a taxi, so you won't have to make the entire application like understand how the user would order a taxi. So they take the natural language understanding processing and they just provide you with intent. So we call them built-in intent, and there is a ton of built-in intents. I think that there are like, well, a ton, like 60 built-in intents.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, if nothing covers your use case, then you can just create your own intent. But then you do need to take care of your own natural language understanding.
Okay. And so if we needed to do our custom one, where would we tackle that NLU piece of it?
It's on that XML file.
Okay.
So there, for instance, if you want to order coffee, you can order like a hot coffee or a warm coffee. The application, of course, doesn't know the difference between those two. So you need to get the synonyms and just assign them to a value. So then you just get that value to your application, then you can open up your application ordering that coffee with the correct data. But yeah, for some use cases, for instance, the ordering the taxi, the built-in intent already takes that under consideration. So you don't really have to think about how would a user order a taxi.
Okay. So what other areas of built-in actions are there? Is it like typical things like shopping or?
Yeah, so there are like 16 intents. There are some common use intents, like opening the application, like ordering something, that can be shopping, that can be anything, ordering food as well, applications that also have the fitness are on the fitness side.
Okay.
So starting and stopping actions. Yeah, there are so many.
All right. I don't think I have any more questions about app actions. I'm excited to look at that side of things too, and hopefully I'll have a project coming soon that will either allow me to do that mobile voice integration on Alexa or on a Google Assistant, and I'll get to use some form of this and start adding voice to mobile apps all over the place.
Sounds fantastic. Well, if you have any problems, you know where to find me.
That sounds good. I appreciate you taking the time. We're on opposite ends of the world, I think. I'm starting my day and you're ending yours, but I appreciate this chance to connect and just voice out there to the audience. You're able to contact Two Voice Devs on social media. Alan and I are on Twitter. Is there a way that our listeners can connect with you on social media or otherwise?
Yes, also Twitter works really well. So it's just Eliza Camber. They can find me over there. I try to reply to everyone. So.
Well, sounds good. Well, Eliza, I really appreciate your time today, and we'll answer some more questions on topics going forward on a future episode of Two Voice Devs. So take care, Eliza.
Bye-bye.